Stavljana show, good evening. We have a special guest here in our studio in Belgrade, the Newsmax studio, Mr. Aleksandar Vucic, President of the Republic of Serbia. Hello.
Dobro veče, dobrodošli.
So let's switch to English. We should have a
Prelazimo na engleski u njujorški studio. Bianca, da li ste spremni za intervju?
Hello, Bianca. If not,
da li se čujemo? Ako ne...
Hi, Bianca. Do you hear me?
Bianca, da li se čujemo?
Maybe we'll try in a minute, but
počet ćemo za koji trenutak, ponovo ćemo pokušati, ali pozdravljamo našu koleginicu u Sarajevu. Ika, dobroveče.
Hi, Stanko. Hello.
Dobroveče, Stanko. Dobrodošli u Sarajevo. Pozdravljamo naše gledalce u Srbiji i u Americi.
So you will help me tonight to have an
Večeras ćete mi pomoći u našem intervju sa gospodinom Vučićem, dakle i iz njujorškog studija i iz sarajevskog. Bianca, da li me sada čujete? Da li možemo da počnemo sa vašim pitanjima?
Yes, I can. Thank you so much, Stanko and Ika, for having us. This is a tremendous moment here, and congratulations for all the excitement on the expansion. And we are pleased to speak to Serbia's leader, President Aleksandar Vucic, today here with our Newsmax audience in America.
Pred našom Newsmax publikom
ovde u Americi. So let's start with your questions.
Krenite s pitanjima.
Wonderful. We'll take it from your studio in Sarajevo here to stateside. President Vucic, great to have you with us. Let's talk first about tariffs. It's something that has been a global discussion. President Trump just yesterday authorized a 90-day pause on those reciprocal tariffs. Countries who didn't counter. And obviously one of those is Serbia, President, because you didn't push back on the tariff. Tell us about the reset that President Trump is trying to do here when it comes to global trade. And obviously, the decision you made as President of Serbia not to counter when President Trump announced Liberation Day, sir.
Trump objavio taj dan oslobođenja. Hvala puno. Želim samo da kažem da smo veoma zadovoljni time što je došlo do tog reseta, te pauze.
And we got at least 90 days. And when we heard a decision when President Trump imposed tariffs on Serbia, 37%, we were calm and tranquil, and we started discussions and conversations with our friends from the United States in order to either revoke those tariffs because we didn't want to counter it, and we just wanted to resolve it in a very friendly way. And this is a very good step forward. I think that it's a big relief for everybody in an entire world, dare to say, and particularly here in Europe. Not only for us, but for European Union countries as well. And profoundly grateful to see it. And hopefully we'll be able to discuss it in next 3 months. And I believe that we'll be able to find a common denominator for all of us and to do something for the sake and for the benefit for our two sides, but for all the other sides as well.
It is incredible. President Vucic, we know you are expected to meet with President Trump in the coming months, so we await your visit here to us in the United States. But personally, you have accomplished a great deal in really rebuilding Serbia's infrastructure, stimulating huge economic growth under your leadership. There's tourism, there's hospitality projects. I mean, here in the States, we've been covering the projects from President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, on that hotel project, to Air Serbia now announcing these nonstop flights from Miami, Florida, right there to Serbia. In addition, you're hosting the Expo 2027. All of these exciting opportunities, really a tie between the United States and Serbia happening under this administration, but also clearly tell us about the vision you have to opening up the United States and the world to the Serbian folks and everyone in the Balkans.
Thank you very much for putting things in this way because it's very difficult, dear Bianca, to discuss the issues in a rational way in today's world. There are very few people that want to discuss results, that want to see whether you accomplished, whether you achieved something or not. It's all based on mainly emotions and social networks, and there is still an ongoing witch hunt as it was going against President Trump, against many European leaders, but many leaders from all over the world, and just few people and few medias actually and really counts for and about someone's results that were accomplished in the recent time. And I'm very happy to say that we opened our conversation, very sincere and honest conversation with the American administration after Trump's victory. And we used to have it since his first tenure. And we believe that very soon we'll be able to meeting his most important people. And I hope that within a month I'll be in a position to speak to the president himself and to raise some issues and to start in a real sense of that word strategic dialogue with the US administration. That's of an utmost importance for us. On the other hand, I have to say, yes, we accomplished a lot in last several years, particularly speaking about building infrastructure in our country. We built more roads and railways and railroads in last 10 years than 60 years before that. And we are still not satisfied. We are still not satisfied with this kind of results. It's always easy even to scolding ourselves because we did not accomplish, we did not achieve what we wanted to do. But at the end, there is a result that we can be very proud of. Today, Serbia can brag itself with the highest level of public-private wages and pensions as well. And at the end, we built many scientific and technological parks in this country, which is a good basis, good foundation for the future for the young people. And yes, it was a huge soar of tourist numbers. Now the recent protests made it a bit more difficult for us, but we believe that we'll be able to overcome all these difficulties. And our plans were to be #1 fastest growing economy in Europe, and now we believe even having all these burdens regarding protests, blockades and everything else, that we'll be able to be 1 out of 3 fastest growing economies in Europe this year. This is what we can brag ourselves of, but still we have to improve a lot of stuff. We have to work more diligently, more dedicatedly, and I hope that I'll be ready and I'll be very happy to testify it in some of your shows in 2, 3 or 4 months. And thank you for asking me so.
I would love that. I would love that. Of course, and Americans, when they come, will be able to see all of the work that you have done. And having a big vision is something we know very well here with our current president, President Trump. President Vucic, one of the things that's so critical, and we talk about, building economies, diplomacy, everything that you are looking forward to, one of the tenets of it is journalism and is information. And we're so pleased that Newsmax Balkans is expanding this week, distributed nationwide through Telecom Serbia, plus a recent announcement just days ago, President Vucic, a dedicated channel launched in Bosnia-Herzegovina, broadcasting also in Montenegro. Tell us, as the president of Serbia, what you believe is the main reason for the success of Newsmax Balkans, as people are tuning in to hear you today and tuning in every single day to your journalists that you are sitting with in that studio for such critical times for your country and the world.
Well, I'm happy that we have Christopher Rood and Newsmax here in Serbia, and it's really important. They are, if you ask me, when you ask politicians, they are always ready to criticize all the medias because they always believe that they can get bigger attention and that the other side is actually getting more than they deserve. And if you ask me personally, would have always said the same. But I'm happy that we have Newsmax, which is very open, which is very much critical about our work, and it helps us a lot. And it helps us a lot because when we see mistakes that we do, we can always change our attitude. Then we have to avoid platitudes that politicians from time to time use, and to reply to your questions and to your issues in a sincere and responsible way. And I hope that in an entire region it will be the same situation. That would be very much helpful to all of us. And I forgot to say something about Jared Kushner and several projects. Speaking about Air Serbia, at the end, yes, so far we have already opened 2 direct flights. One is Belgrade, New York, and another one is Belgrade, Chicago, and hopefully before October we'll have a direct flight line between Belgrade and Miami. That will be a huge, huge success for a small country's national carrier, as we have Air Serbia, and we are very proud about their work. Speaking about Jared Kushner, I discussed with him several times, and not only with him, I need to say something because I don't know whether American people know whether they know this or not. When President Trump was the President of the United States in his first mandate, his first tenure, I visited White House, and we finished our job with the president, and then I stayed for 2.5 hours with O'Brien. He was the boss of NSC at that time, Rick Grinnell, Jared Kushner, and 2 more guys. It was a sort of naval room or a submarine room, something like that. But you know, these people were ready to listen to a small guy from Serbia for more than 2.5 hours. For more than those people showed that kind of respect and that kind of diligence. It was 7 o'clock in the evening, 8 o'clock in the evening. They were still sitting with us and listening to our smart or stupid stories. Doesn't matter. I can imagine how that was not interesting at all for them, but they were listening to us. And at that time, I said to myself, and I was conveying that message to all our people here. And many people were trying to scoff those small guys from time to time, but these people showed real respect. These people showed that they cared. These people showed they wanted to hear from small guys from the world what was their opinion, and to hear them, to listen to them, and to provide the very best politics for this region. And I will never forget it, and I was always speaking about it. And now I'm very happy to see very good people in Trump's administration, in Trump's team today, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to meeting J.D. Vance and Waltz and Rubio and all the others, Elon Musk in particular. I met him in New York. I believe it was a big award competition or whatever. He was sitting close to Giorgia Meloni, and I noticed that he knew a lot about Serbia, and I believe that in Florida, relatively soon, as I said, I'll be jubilant to see most of them, and in particular President Trump. And thank you once again for reminding me on this.
Well, we are broadcasting from our studios, Newsmax, Florida. President Aleksandar Vucic, it's such a pleasure to have you join us stateside here from our vantage point and talk about all the tremendous partnerships that are being built between Serbia and the United States. Continued success, sir. And we look forward to your visit here into our country.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. And thank you, Stanko and Ika, for letting us dip in.
Thanks
a lot.
Bianca. Thanks you so much.